This is the video for the Chapter 2 review. It's our second video, so hopefully you've already completed the first part of your review and now you're with me to do the second part. So, if you look here, this time our instructions are to solve the literal equation for y. So remember, literal equations have two or more variables, but we solve them the same way we do regular equations, and that is using those inverse operations. So on number 10, we have y minus 3x equals 9. And if we're trying to isolate y, that means we need to move everything to the other side away from y. So here, if you notice, we have a negative 3x, and the opposite of minus 3x is to add 3x to both sides. So when I do that, remember, positive and negative 3x cancel, and I bring down y. And so I have my y equals, and I have my 9, but I can't actually add 3x to 9, so I just put 9 plus 3x. You know you're finished solving a literal equation when you have the variable that you're trying to solve for by itself. So since I have y by itself here, I know I'm finished. Y is equal to 9 plus 3x. Okay? Alright, so on number 11, this one's a little bit more involved because we have some coefficients. Remember, coefficients are the numbers that are in front of variables. They're being multiplied by the variables. So we're going to start the same way as we did over here, though. We're trying to get that 32x to the other side because we want to get y all by itself. So the opposite of positive 32x is subtracting 32x from both sides. When I do that, positive and negative 32x cancel, and I bring down my negative 8y. I bring down my 64, and now I have 64 minus 32x over here. Okay? Alright, so then, from there, y isn't by itself yet because it's being multiplied by negative 8 right here. So remember, the opposite of multiplying by a negative 8 would be dividing by a negative 8. So I'm going to divide each of these pieces of the equation by negative 8. Now some of you, this is where you made your mistake on your test. You forgot to divide each piece. So negative 8 divided by negative 8 makes 1y. 64 divided by negative 8 makes negative 8. And negative 32x divided by negative 8 makes positive 4x. Okay? Now, you can leave your answer like that. This is totally fine. I like this answer. Y is alone, and we're good. Now, some of you, I noticed, remembered that a lot of times I would put my x first when I was doing this in class. So if you are comfortable doing that and you understand, then you know that you could also put y equals 4x minus 8. And that would actually be the same thing as what we have already bubbled here. So either one of those answers is fine. I would be happy with either one because y is alone. For this next part on the review, it is writing the sentence as an inequality. So now we're moving into that chapter 2 stuff. So we're not solving, we're just writing an inequality using the sentence. So for number 12, it says a number y. So we have a number y minus 8 is greater than or equal to 10. Okay? So a number y is y, minus 8, so minus 8, greater than or equal to, so that's the symbol that points to the right with a line under it, to 10. And you can stop there because they just asked me to write it, they did not ask me to solve it. For number 13, we have the number 21 is at least. So at least means that it has to be that number or more. So 21 is greater than or equal, so at least a number t times 3. So that would be written as 3t. Make sure whenever you do a number t times 3 that you do write it with 3 in front of t. The coefficient of t is 3 times t. Okay, So we have a number 21 is at least, so at least is greater than or equal to 3t. Okay, so this last one says 2/3 of a number. So 2/3 of a number b is no more than, so that means it has to be less than or equal to 12. So 2/3 of a number b is written as 2/3 b. No more than, that's less than or equal to 12. Okay? And on all of these, all we had to do is translate, so you've written the inequality and you're ready to move on. Now on this section, I noticed when you did your 2.1 homework, several students either emailed me or came into tutoring, and they asked me about this little semicolon. So right here, this semicolon, so it says in exercises 15 through 17, tell whether the value is a solution of the inequality. So what they've done here for number 15 is they've given you an inequality. That inequality is x minus 5 is greater than 10. And then the semicolon is just to separate your inequality from the value that they're asking you about. So that semicolon isn't some special math symbol or anything like that. So we want to know, could x equal 2? If it's a solution, that means if I took 2 and put it where x is, then this inequality would remain true. So 2 minus 5, we want to know, is that greater than 10? Okay, so that's the question we're asking ourselves. Well, 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Is negative 3 greater than 10? And the answer is no, it's not. So therefore, negative 2 could not be a solution of this inequality because it didn't work. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and look at number 16. It's a little more involved. So I have 30 minus 6 times w. And in this case, they want to know if w could be negative 4. So 6 times negative 4 is less, and then we have negative 3 times 5 plus 7w. And that w, remember, was negative 4. So here's what I'm plugging in. I plugged in this negative 4 everywhere I saw w. And now I'm just going to evaluate the expression that's left. So we know that negative 6 times negative 4 is 24. So we're wanting to know what is 30 plus 24, which that would equal 54. Okay, so on this side I have 54. I just did 30 minus 6 times negative 4. So remember, order of operations, I multiplied first and then I did the 30. Okay, I want to know, is that less than, and so on this side I have 5 plus 7 times negative 4. So remember, you got to work in those parentheses first. That's negative 23, and then I'm multiplying that by negative 3 because that's what it says to do. And that gives me 69. So is 54 less than 69? And the answer is yes. If the answer is yes, then that means that negative 4 is a solution to this inequality. Okay, so we're going to stop here tonight, and we will move on to that word problem tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic evening.